We've been using Harvest Host for about a year, and it is honestly one of the most useful RV apps and also one of our absolute favorites. So excited to go ahead and show you around how to use it, how to book a stay, how to plan a route, all that jazz. So we're assuming you've already either logged into Harvest Host or just about to and are trying to figure out which package you want. Whenever you go to the main Harvest Host page here, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's going to tell you about the 3 different package offerings they have. Basically choose one which you think is going to be most equivalent to you. There's the Harvest Host Classic. This includes wineries, breweries, farms, and various attractions. There's the Harvest Host Classic Plus Boondockers Welcome. This also includes basically various homes and things like that who've also agreed to host various RVs or camper vans, whatever it might be. You can see the price points for those right here. And then at the bottom, you also see the one that additionally just adds golf courses. We chose the golf course package because we like to golf, but obviously if you're not a golfer, don't choose that one. The other 2 options, to be honest, we've almost always stayed at Harvest Host Classic. These tend to be the most fun whenever you're staying at a farm, a brewery, a winery, or a various attraction like a museum. These are the most interesting and the most different from everyday life. But if you're looking for a lot more options, definitely Boondockers Welcome as an addition would also be a great selection. Okay, now let's start talking about how to actually book a location. There's 2 different ways to do this. The first is if you know an exact place you're trying to go, you could just search that actual location. So for instance, let's say we're trying to stay near Portland, Oregon. We click on that and it's going to take you here. It'll show you all the various locations in the Portland, Oregon area, but you have to be careful because these may not be applicable to you. For instance, start always with your rig length. This needs to include not just your RV, but ideally if you have a tow car as well, I would also recommend putting that in your rig length. For us, we are 56 feet, including our RV, tow dolly, and car, so I normally opt for the over 45 feet option, and I only do the up to 45 feet option if there's no other options available in that area, since our RV is technically 34 feet. But again, I definitely recommend including all of the pieces whenever you're actually booking a selection. The nice thing is that pretty much stays the same as far as whenever you book. And by that, I mean every time you log into Harvest Host, it remembers your RV length and will always accommodate for that. Next, the obvious selection would be the dates. When is it you actually want to book a spot? If you have a spot already booked, for instance, we are booked at a location between November 2nd through the 3rd, that's going to show up with a little purple triangle indicating to you already have a spot booked then. It won't let you book any other spots at that time. But let's say we're trying to book something from the 3rd to the 4th. Now it's only going to show us options in the Portland area that are available the 3rd through the 4th and have a rig length of over 45 feet. There's a couple additional options that they've also added recently. For instance, you can also filter if you have hookups or if you want to stay in a space multiple nights. Also, if you're really on a tight schedule, you're booking and you need to book for that day, which we've had before whenever we had some vehicle maintenance issues, you can also filter for same day booking, and there's more filtering options on the side. Next is host type. Again, we have the package that offers all of the various options, so you'll see all of them here. We, again, tend to prefer farms, attractions, wineries, golf, breweries, and distilleries. That's nothing against Boondockers Welcome, we just think these are really fun options. I don't generally filter out this, but if you were looking for something in particular, you could. After that, you're good to go. These are all of the options that are available in the Portland area. You can click on one and learn some more information about it. For instance, this is the Mountain View Golf Course, or this is the Gather and Feast Farm. Some other things to note is that to get more information about it, you have to click on the actual thing. So let's go ahead and click on that for the Gather and Feast Farm, and you'll get a lot more information about this particular farm as an option. As you can see, it's a farm. Tells you the overall city of this place, same day requests allowed, pets allowed, etc. You can read through all this on your own. Some of the main things to note are if you're using a generator, having a spot that's generator allowed, really important. This one happens to offer electric hookups. They'll have a lot more information about the farm itself in the about section, the operating hours, etc. But mostly as far as booking, that's pretty much as simple as it gets. If you go here, you make sure it has all the selections you're looking for. One of the other things I always check for as we scroll down is the check-in and the check-out time. Specifically, if you're stringing together multiple Harvest Hosts, you want to make sure that you have enough time to get from one to the other with the checkout and the check-in times available to you. Otherwise, you're going to have to find somewhere else to park in between. If the checkout time is at 9 a.m., for instance, and you have 2 hours to get from there to the next place, and the next place won't let you check in until 2, then you're going to need to find somewhere else to park. So that's just some good information to know. Additionally, they tend to have information about parking and arrival, things like this, etc. You can also find location and directions, and you can find the actual address for the spot there as well, which is obviously super important. Whenever you're ready and you think this is a great spot to stay, you go ahead and click check availability. You're going to input the dates again. Normally they carry over from what you were saying before. This host will allow you to stay for extra nights if that's something you're interested in. You click choose dates, and then you're going to get taken to this page, which includes some various information about your rig that you've pre-written, and these tend to carry over from the information you initially input, so you don't have to write them in every time. And then additional comments. Sometimes they'll ask whenever you're arriving or if you have pets, things like that. You can also request additional lights if that particular harvest host allows for it. House rules, general code of conduct, all that to go. Hit yes, I acknowledge, submit request, and you're good to go. Normally a harvest host will respond to you within 24 hours and approve your stay. It's pretty rare that it takes longer than that. Sometimes they might disapprove your stay if for some reason maybe they think you're too long or they're actually not available at that time. That's one way to request a stay. One other way to find a location is by planning route. So whenever you go to the search option, you're going to hit plan route. Let's say you're driving from St. Louis, Missouri to Huntsville, helps if I spell it right, Alabama. Okay. This is going to give you a few more options as far as filtering. And as you can see, they have a lot of options that just showed up here for those particular dates that we selected before. However, some of them are quite far away from the actual recommended route. Right now, the radius is set for 120 miles. To be honest, we normally set it for about 30. So let's do that we want it to be within 30 miles or less of the actual route, and it will narrow that and filter it out for you. Various options that are going to be within 30 miles of the suggested route from St. Louis to Huntsville. And again, all the same filters as before. And that's it. There's pretty much nothing else to Harvest Host. You can see your additional stays, either your upcoming ones or ones you have done in the past. From here, you can also see any particular messages that various Harvest Host owners have sent you. Maybe it's filtering in where you're going to park, or sometimes they'll give you information about things to do in the area. But other than that, that's Harvest Host. So hope this video was helpful and look forward to all of your RV adventures.